Greetings, one and all. For the love of Gurdjieff, I thought I'd make this little show. It's his birthday weekend this weekend, which is why I've made this one. And I wanted to discuss love. For I love Gurdjieff. I love the work he's given me. I'm so grateful to him for everything he's taught me. And I appreciate that many of us are still struggling. I have myself struggle a lot with the work, but I continue, I persevere. And that's because I have a love for him, for the world, for the universe. And I want to have that compassionate, Philadelphic love for one and all. So I'm going to continue a bit with Sophia Well-Beloved's book, The New Concepts. Put that in focus. And what she writes about love in this. So I'm just going to start with a little quote from her. Ouspensky refers to, Ouspensky refers to people's negative attitude to the work because of its absence of love. And he writes this in Search, and I've actually heard that from other people. I'm quite shocked by that. I find there's a lot of love in the Gurdjieff work. He discusses what love is and all the different types of love. As you know, there's 7 types of love. I've done a little show about that, which I might remember to stick at the end of this. You know, Philadelphia love is the brotherly love. Agape love is compassionate love. And then we've got the love of, you know, sexual love, romantic love, such like ego love, self-love. But I found in the Gurdjieff work myself that he is trying to teach us how to be loving to one and all and to ourselves. But the whole point of this work is to have the connection with the divine source, who is love. You know, love does make the world go round, though many people think it's money. Money helps, but really, if we're a loving person, life is a lot easier. So let me continue. Gurdjieff explains that mechanical man cannot love. With him, it loves or it does not love. Again, from Search in the Miraculous. Mechanical love can be misdirected and has no value. And I do see that. I think a lot of people don't really understand what love is. Many people think they're in love, but it's probably just chemical whatevers. Or they watch too much TV and movies and romantic stuff, believe that love is some kind of something that everybody will gain. You know, it's the happy ever after idea of life and love. But everybody in this world is looking for a partner, aren't they? They feel they're incomplete unless they've got someone. And sometimes I think people rush into love and don't really understand what love is. There's all these people looking for their soulmates. I personally think your soulmate will arise and you'll probably find it within yourself if you just develop your masculine and feminine and balance yourselves out, and then you will discover your soul, your real soul. But I shall continue. So, real love, Christian religious love, must be learned. Where there is life, there is love. And I do agree with that as well. I think I myself grew up looking for love, obviously, you know, as we all do, but I didn't really understand what love is. I had a romanticized look at what love is. I also think I see in my past relationships, I wore what we say in English, rosy colored glasses to make it look like it was just an ideal love story and love relationship with these guys, which it never was really. I think a lot of them were based on lust and perhaps even just the need to be with someone. Few people, I think, in this world find true love, though I have met couples that are definitely meant to be together and have been in love with each other, call themselves their life partners and love of their lives. So it is out there for people. If that's what you're looking for, then it's attainable. I'm realized that by coming to a better understanding of the Christ, which helped through Gurdjieff, I began to understand what compassionate love was, or it exists, and unconditional love. And those are the things I needed to learn about and understand so that I could progress in my life path. Because when compassionate love and unconditional love started to make sense to me, and I realized that's what I had to develop in me, it changed my outlook and views of everything in my world and my whole scope of my whole scope of what it was I was looking for, what I was doing, my whole scope of what this universe is and what I'm here for. When I started to understand the idea from the Christian point of view of the concept of compassionate love, it completely changed me. And I realized I needed to work on my heart, and that my heart chakra was not working properly because I had not got a proper understanding of what love is. Now let's continue with Gurdjieff. Where there is life, there is love. Each plant, animal, and person is a representative of God. Each is sensitive to love and functions better when loved. If a person wishes to love his neighbour, he must begin by trying to love plants and animals. And I find it quite interesting, those of you that have been to AA, the Alcoholics Anonymous, I know people that have had to do all that. They teach you to love a plant first. If you can care for a plant, then you can move on to other things. I'm a bit of a judger of people. How they treat animals is important to me. If you love the world and the animals on it, and you're in tune with the planet Earth, then you've got a love, because you love your planet. You love the earth that you're walking on. You love the birds that are singing outside. You love the animals that you meet every day and the fishes that are swimming in the sea. You know, we're all part of that love vibration. But obviously, animals, we don't often feel their love unless they're pets. Obviously, it's unconditional love then, because they want to be fed, they want to be loved, they want to be sheltered, they want to be looked after. You know, you feel their unconditional love, but they're still trying to gain something from us. They want to be fed, they want to be sheltered, and they want to be loved. In the wild, animals are just living to survive. But we still have to love them for what they are. I wonder if they love. Some animals do fall in love and stay together for life. I know swans do. So they must have a love vibration within them. But like humans, it's how they use it or how they understand it, maybe. But we don't want to be doing mechanical love, which is what I meant when I was talking at the beginning of the show of some people don't understand what love is, or they're just using a mechanical love. They haven't got a deep understanding of what love is. No change can take place in a man who does not change his attitude to the outside world, but he must learn what to love and what not to love, leaving aside the most clear-cut things which are undeniably bad. A man can make experiments with his attitudes to what he likes and dislikes, you know, and this comes back to, you know, the old Gurdjieff saying, like what it dislikes. Can be, I used to find that a very hard exercise to do. E.g., if he likes certain flowers, he might try to dislike them and vice versa. Everything living is interdependent. And now we've got a quote from Gurdjieff, because this is obviously Sophia, well-beloved, writing about love from the Gurdjieff point of view. So here's a quote. Whoever does not love life does not love God. And that's from Views from the Real World. And I kind of see that now. I understand that. You know I was just living before I really started to understand what love was. So I was always looking for meaning. I was looking for a spiritual path from a young age, but I didn't really understand love until much later in my life. And then I began to realize, no, I need to love life instead of sitting here thinking, damn you, God, for not giving me what you want. Damn you, people, for screwing up my life. Damn you, people, for leading me down the wrong path, or what, you know, blah, blah, blah. I had to learn to love myself, love God, love life, enjoy my life. Anyway, let's continue. God said, whoever loves their parents loves him. We can ask ourselves if we loved our parents as they deserved or mechanically. If we do not love them, we cannot love God. And that again is from Views from the Real World. I used to have a bit of a problem with that. I've never really, didn't really get on well with my parents. I had a bit of a tough time with them and a bit of a rocky relationship. And then I kept reading from Gurdjieff, you know, love your parents, and then when they die, you can feel that love. That's when you can love God. And I still struggle with that one myself. But I kind of see what he's saying, you know, you're loving the creator that put you on this earth, the creators, your parents. But I also know a lot of people that don't have parents, or don't know who their parents are, and they were put into care from a young age or whatever. So that must be quite a tricky, difficult situation for them. Of how do you get through that exercise? If you've been through foster home after foster home, and perhaps not had a great time in them. So that can be quite a difficult start for many of us that haven't come from a loving family. So we don't understand family love, parental love, or, come from a family that's quite broken up, a dysfunctional family, I suppose I should say. The Simpsons, the cartoon is said to be a dysfunctional family, but you can see they love each other in it. I know it's a cartoon, but, they love and care for each other. There are many families out there that are dysfunctional and there is no love in there at all. But we have to learn to understand what love is while we're doing this work, so that we can bring it into ourselves and definitely develop in our hearts and creating the love in our hearts, and then spreading it out through our bodies is just a fantastic energy. I used to do little meditations of visualizing a candle in my heart to light it up. I used to joke about how I realized, once I started understanding about love and the heart, how I had a stone cold black heart. I turned against a lot of things. Even though I wanted to be a loving person, I was programmed to be kind of a bit more jealous, I suppose, hatred. My heart turned to stone, as the old adage goes, and I needed to soften that back up, turn that stone into a caring, loving heart. So I used to do these visualizations of a candle in my heart, burning, getting stronger and stronger, and growing my heart and filling it with love. And then later I did meditations of the visualizing my heart as the 12-petaled lotus flower and things, and they worked. It helped me to connect with the love vibe. So continuing with Sophia Well-Beloved, there are two kinds of self-love that are outwardly alike but inwardly opposite to one another. True self-love, which we do not have, is desirable and necessary and is an attribute of the soul. The possession of it leads to freedom. A person with self-love is a particle of heaven. Self-love is I is God. And I do see that. I understand that if we can become love, we do become a particle of God, because God is all loving, all forgiving, all loving. God's given us free will, so what we do on this planet is down to us. It's our choices, whether we're being manipulated by dark forces, becoming mechanical, or waking up so that we make real choices and real decisions in our lives. But love is a fundamental part of all this, so that we follow our life properly. However, we possess false self-love, in which we are ruled solely by internal influences, and this self-love is the principal weapon of the devil. To distinguish between the two, we need to practice active reasoning. And we can read about that in Views from the Real World. Gurdjieff refers to love as a sacred feeling, quote, "The possibility of its manifestation, given to us by our Creator for the salvation of our souls and for the mutual support necessary for a more or less happy life together." And, I think the salvation of our souls is the most important mission we should be doing. We are saving our souls, hopefully releasing other people's souls so they can develop their souls as well. Our souls are a very important part of our ongoing evolution. And many people out there seem to be very soulless. They're normally the ones either working on mechanical love or no love at all. But these two different types of self-love, I'm sure you've experienced, like I have through my life, and I see how the devil probably does manipulate us with a false love, a fake love. So I do also remind people that the devil comes through the mind, God comes through the heart, and the devil deceives us through the mind, whereas the God's revealing to us through the heart. So continuing with Sophia Well-Beloved, she's talking about meetings with remarkable men now. In contemporary, weak, will-less people, love has degenerated into a vice. And we see love is misused these days. It's misrepresented in so many ways. People misunderstand what love is. I'm trying to remember what that adage is. Men use love to get sex, and women use sex to get love. You know, this is all misuse of love. But everybody wants to be loved deep down. Gurdjieff cited Philadelphia, that is, in translation from Greek, the city of brotherly love, as the common destination for seekers of all religions, saying that after reaching Philadelphia, the road is the same for everyone. And of course, Philadelphia is mentioned in the Gospels. Christ talks about Philadelphic love, you know, the uniting of men and women in a brotherhood, a community, a sisterhood, an understanding that we love each other as equals. Gurdjieff taught that people need to love one another in order to work together, and all the component parts of a human being should also love each other. Peter paraphrases Gurdjieff's definition of real love as, Peter's paraphrases, sorry, this is going to be, hold on, let me just remember where that came from. Peter's, M-N-O-P. I'm going to assume that it's someone that I just can't remember his first name. It's just embarrassing that I can't remember his first name, because I did a show on him only a few weeks ago. Oh, I'm wasting time here, aren't I? I'm being a fool. Anyway, this is what Peters wrote, who was the guy that made the movie Meetings with Remarkable Men. I'm sorry, I can't remember. His name's just gone from my head. Understanding another human being so that you can help him, even if the assistance goes temporarily against the person's nature. Caring for the person exceeds any personal desire of gratification, which is very important. You know, we should be doing this because we want to, not to get a, in fact, it's not Peters that made the movie Meetings with Remarkable Men. It's Fritz Peters, Brotherhood with Gurdjieff. Oh, see, made a big boo-boo there, but hey, I'm going to continue. It doesn't matter. So Fritz Peters was saying this in his books, which I think should be made into a movie. I think Fritz Peters' books would be a wonderful drama documentary of Gurdjieff's life. But it's Fritz Peters that's reminding us this, that, you know, we should be caring and loving people, not for to get an advantage or to get something from them. We should do it unconditionally. Many people do use love conditionally, and that's what the problem is. So continuing with Sophia Well-Beloved, there are two different strands of Gurdjieff's 1940s teaching on love. One echoes his past teachings, that sex and love need not be mingled, that love is internal and can be felt for a person of the same sex or an animal. He urged love of neighbor as the way, emphasis in the text, the way. You know, we need to love each other, love our neighbors. So he urged love of neighbor as the way to bring what is felt for parents to everyone, and the ability to enter the situation of another. You know, it's the old walking in another's shoes. We need to understand how other people work, why they operate the way they do, why people do bad things. You know, usually it's because they're not feeling loved or unloved, or they're trying to gain love in some way. You know, we just need to spread the love vibration so other people can feel it, but not in a way that we're showing off. You know, Christ had a charismatic, loving way about him that people notice. You know, there's charismatic gurus out there that are emanating love. It's very difficult to do, but we can work upon ourselves so that we can develop it and become also emanations of love. He taught that Jesus performed his miracles through the power of real love joined with magnetism, that accumulated vibrations cause a current that brings the cosmic force of love, the greatest power in the world. Oh, I lost internet a little bit then, but hopefully this is all recording again. So this is what happens when I try and do it live. He taught that Jesus performed his miracles through the power of real love joined with magnetism, that accumulated vibrations cause a current that brings the cosmic force of love, the greatest power in the world. He suggested that with love and a study of magnetism, pupils may cure paralytics and blindness. However, on many occasions, he advocated a complete lack of feeling for anyone other than blood relations. All love and respect must be liquidated, transformed into indifference. The pupil must neither love nor esteem internally, nor have sympathy or antipathy with anyone except people of the same blood. All others must be rejected. And I always found this quite weird because they do try to teach us that, you know, it should be neither neither, as Austin Osman Spare used to say. Sympathy and antipathy, that's something Rudolf Steiner talks about lots of, that we should have. So where does the love come into all that? Because if sympathy and antipathy are on either sides of the balance, is love in the middle, coming through the center point? This is something I still ponder on and find quite interesting, perhaps even confusing in the work. Our contact with parents must not be changed, only the form of contact, since they are of the same blood. Strangers are of another blood. We must be free of them. Gurdjieff urged an intense involvement of his pupils with their parents, whether the parents are dead or alive. You know, and that all comes back to working on remorse as well. So I made this show because I wanted to obviously discuss love, try and spread the vibration of love, and to celebrate Mr. Gurdjieff's birthday on January the 12th. So some say it's January the 13th, but I just thought since it's a weekend, I shall put it up for the whole of the weekend as my Gurdjieff tribute to him for his birthday. And hopefully we can all keep sharing and spreading the love together. And sorry, I made that mistake about Peters. That's quite funny, really. But yeah, Fritz Peters, very important. I need to look into whether I need to, if I have the right to record them books now, because I know for a while they were in copyright and I could see that I was going to be an infringement of copyright, but I don't know if they've will allow me to do that now. So I shall look into that because I thought they were delightful books and I feel that they were written with love. You know, his love for the man, his love for the work comes through the work, through the writing that Fritz Peters does in his biographies of his times with Gurdjieff. So with love to you all, I thank you for watching. And until next time, peace, love, and out.